All right, thank you for joining us today for our Gridiron Survivor stream. Today we have a special guest, Chris Griffing from GitKraken. But before we start, we had some amazing news this week from Chris Nowicki. Chris, you want to share with us a little bit?
Yeah. So I am in the current process. So I accepted an offer after 2 years of trying to break into the tech industry well, I've been in tech, but trying to break in as a web developer in the web developer scene. I did accept a new position with a company that will not be named yet because I'm waiting till day one and I know they haven't announced it yet. So but I'm very excited. I start November 4th. My last day at where I'm currently at, which is Raytheon, is going to be November 1st. And in the process, I've already notified my current company that I've been with. The crazy thing is I've been with them for almost 18 years. So the people that I had to let know are people I've worked with for almost 2 decades. So it's a bittersweet feeling, but I'm beyond excited to have an opportunity at this new company to be an engineering lead and to be a software developer on those programs that I'm coordinating. So really excited to be able to do both, and kind of ties in my 18 years of experience that I've had with my newfound passion for software development over the past 2 years. And I think Gridiron Survivor is one of the things that really helped me get there, just because it provided that the gaps that you cannot get by doing tutorials on your own. So really stoked, really happy. I'm beyond excited, scared as crap, but excited as crap. It's a big change to go from a company from 18 years to a brand new company, not knowing anything about processes and procedures they have and stuff like that. But overall, I'm beyond excited and stoked. They're excited, they're stoked, which has me even more stoked. So yeah, that's the news. And once I announce it, I plan to come back on here, Shashi, and kind of talk about the things that I did to help cultivate that.
That'd be awesome.
Including so yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think that it's a long time coming, but a testament to your hard work and you just pushing through. And for the team members too, for helping Chris out and giving him a hard time about PRs and all that stuff. It all works out.
It all works out. Yeah, no hard feelings towards anyone. We all work together to figure out everything. So it's great.
But yeah, that's amazing. And I think the best thing for me is for Grand Survivor, created this program to help these individuals bridge that gap from like graduating boot camp or CS major, whatever, to first job. It's very hard to find those skills in between. But at the same time, the whole point of this project is so that I can kick you off the team because you got a job. So sweet.
One thing I'll add to this, though, is that for anyone out there that's just got out of boot camp and they're expecting to jump to their first role, you need to be involved in open source and projects like these. It was 2 years of grinding. I mean, and by grinding, I mean I was putting in an extra 20 hours a week into this on top of my normal job. So, it's worth the effort that you put in to prepare yourself, and we'll talk more about that in the coming weeks.
Sweet. Thank you very much for that update. All right. Let's move on to talking to Chris G about GitKraken.
Sounds good.
This is tough.
It is.
So yeah, for the audience that maybe doesn't know what GitKraken is, we have a suite of tools that make Git easier to work with, because it can be really complicated just starting out with it from scratch, right? Like there's a lot of commands, there's a lot of arguments and filters and things that you can do with Git that are really powerful, but it's a lot to learn at first. So using a tool like GitKraken can make that learning process a little bit easier. And we think now we're kind of pivoting to not just being a Git tool, but also like a team collaboration tool. So some of the features that we're going to be really digging into today are focused on like that team collaboration aspect. So like Launchpad is going to be able to show you like what PRs are relevant to you, what issues, etc., and being able to filter that from a personal level as well as like a team level. So the project manager or lead of the team may care about the team view when an individual contributor would maybe be more like on the personal side.
Sweet. All right. Let me share my screen here. Boom.
Awesome.
GitKraken. I do want to preface this. I a lot of engineers feel like you have to learn Git and the command and memorize everything, right? And like that's the right way to do stuff. I would tell you what, I've used a Git GUI for 15, 17 years, and I'm not going to stop because it makes me more efficient. It gets the job done. And you can see from this screen here, I can see all the commit history from just the clients, opposed to typing it in and going back. It makes me so much faster. So
Yep.
thank you to GitKraken as well. I mean, and this product is amazing. Like I've used Git Tower, I've used Source Tree and all of that, and GitKraken, and the features that you guys put out are like really modern and they help a lot. So
Awesome.
That's
I'll
why I love
definitely pass
using
that
GitKraken.
on. They love hearing good feedback.
cool.
Okay, so do you have a workspace kind of set up for this? And also, do you have like a team kind of set up within GitKraken?
I have a team. I don't have a
Okay.
workspace.
Okay. The workspace is maybe less important.
Okay.
You might want to create one. I forget. We'll see here in Launchpad in a second.
Okay.
But basically, workspaces at least are if you have multiple repos, it's a way of like tying them together, and you can like fetch
I
all
see.
at once, or things like that.
Mhm.
So for companies and people who work on a lot of different projects at a time, it's actually like really nice to group them together in like a specific way. So workspace is not as relevant here. But so yeah, go ahead and click over to Launchpad real quick, and let's see what you got set up in there.
Okay.
So it looks like you're already kind of set up. So you've got your integration wired up and all that stuff, which is great.
Ooh, look at my work stuff
Um,
here. I gotta.
Oh.
How do you switch this?
So maybe that's where a workspace would come in handy.
Oh, I got a bunch of stuff in here.
Okay. So I would say maybe, yeah, let's go to the repository manager thing. It's a little folder in the bar up top to the left of Launchpad.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And then in here, I would say maybe do a new workspace. It's up there in the row. Yeah, right next to in it. There you go.
Space. Okay.
And then, yeah, this is where you'll add that Gridiron Survivor repo. So you'll
Okay.
give it a name, probably just Gridiron Survivor.
Now, would this workspace apply to all of us since we're all a part of the team, or do we each individually have to do this?
So I believe on the team, he should be able to associate that. So here you would select the team that's relevant, right? And that
Cool.
should be the Gridiron Survivor.
Oh, there
like
we go.
group. There you go.
Boom.
Awesome. And then, yeah, your provider is probably going to be GitHub.
Okay.
And then select the repositories that would make the most sense. So probably just Gridiron Survivor.
If I spell it correctly. There it is.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. And then create that cloud workspace.
Ooh, fancy.
Cool. So now when you go back to Launchpad, you should be able to select that workspace and it'll filter down to just that repo.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep. So that's a little better. So this is your
Ooh.
personal view right now,
All right, cool.
right? But you could also click over to the team view and see like every like repo. So it's over there on the right.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay.
And, as like the team lead or project manager,
Mhm.
you're going to have a lot more stuff in here that isn't necessarily you're tagged on it as a reviewer or anything, but you get like all of the repos and issues.
Oh, that's so
now,
cool.
right now on my end, that hasn't flown down to my workspace as an option.
You should have gotten an invite over in your repository tab. Is there like a refresh button? I'm struggling
And
to
did
remember
you
if there
check
is one.
this notification here too?
I know.
Wait.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, you guys should be seeing the workspaces now that you're on the team. So that's nice and smooth. You the whole team doesn't have to go through that same process, which is nice.
Oh, that's very cool.
So now that we have this Launchpad, you can kind of just look at, from the team view, you can see what everyone else is up to. If you're worried about just your own stuff, you can switch back to personal. So it just depends on what you're trying to get out of it at the moment.
This is very nice.
Yeah.
Because for failing CIs, like I have to manually go through and figure out, oh, hey, Alex, go fix your failing build.
Yep.
Right. Then now I'm like, oh, hey, guess what? I see which ones are failing and then which ones have merge conflicts too. Oh, that's so cool.
And it becomes even more useful if you have more than one repo, because then you don't have to go through the tabs in your browser like one by one and inspecting it that way. So you get like the categorization aspects of it. Let's maybe see, is there one that you kind of don't want to deal with right now? because we have the idea of snoozing something, so it can actually get like filtered out of your like main view right there.
Let's say this one.
Sure. Okay, so I believe there should be over in the action tab on the right.
This one?
Is-
Whoopsies. Too much.
Let's see.
This one?
There should be a way to snooze that yourself, but it may not be here on the team view. It may be over in your personal view. Let's double check that. Okay, so yes, over on the left, you'll see like the pin icon and like the Z's icons. So the Z would be maybe something you would do to like snooze it for like, hey, you might have a lot that's in needs review, but you actually responded and the person hasn't gotten back to you or something. So you could just snooze it to tomorrow or 4 hours or whatever.
Bye-bye.
So then again, if you're working with a lot of like PR review and you're tagged on a lot of things, you can actually have the ones that you care about most stay up at the top, and then you can like hide the ones that you're not as concerned with.
That's very nifty. Like this view alone has already sold me, because as an engineer that reviews like all these PRs and more, even at work, it's a lot of time and effort to go through, figure this stuff out. Like you can do filters at the top at GitHub and be like, oh, waiting for my review and stuff, but it doesn't break it down like this. And especially the team view too. Like it doesn't break it down from like conflicts and unassigned reviewers, stuff like that. Where now as a team lead, I can go, hey, like these builds are failing, and Alex, you need to go fix that because we really need this in, right? Like just a reminder, go fix this. It's 1 week. It's been failing for 1 week.
Yep, exactly.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, and basically, like you can see this here, and it allows you to not have to like reach out via Slack and send a message like, hey, what's the status of that? Right? Like you can actually just get it reported to you, and it saves a little bit of that like back and forth.
Labels and everything too. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see who's assigned, who's collaborating on it. Very, very awesome stuff. So that's, I think, the most important feature that you guys are going to want to work on here. What kind of other things do you feel like you might like have a better experience doing? Like, how about when you do a PR review, are you typically trying to like recommend changes, etc.?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we usually have, I would say, nitpicky comments, but then we have comments that are highly suggested to make those updates.
Okay. So yeah, let's just pick a PR at a glance, right? And actually, before we move on too far into that part, let's also look at the issues tab, right? Because I looked and you guys have 150 issues.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So this is another way that you can kind of like, especially if you had more than one repo in this workspace, you could kind of see all of your issues condensed into one place and sort and filter that way as well. Which is kind of nice. And there's like a quick and easy button to just create a branch locally for that issue, like real quick, like nice, convenient buttons like that. Cool. So I just wanted to at least like point out the issue functionality as well. For all of the viewers out there, we support GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and Azure DevOps for the PR stuff. And then for issues, we support all of those as well as Jira and Trello.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of cool support. If you're working with any of those, you're good. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's head back to a PR.
Okay.
And let's just pick one that you might want to suggest some changes to. They can be like fake changes. We don't have to like dig too deep into that.
Let's go to Alex's implementation admin league operation.
Okay. And I don't use the cloud patches as much, but let's go look in that action dropdown where it says open in GitHub. Just click the arrow and let's see.
Okay.
Yes. So there, what we could do is we could check out a branch locally and make some changes locally. Do you use VS Code?
I do.
Okay. Are you using GitLens in VS Code?
I am.
Okay. So GitLens is also one of our products at GitKraken, and it has this same like functionality that we're kind of going to be talking about. So yeah, maybe check out that branch and let's hop in and like make some changes, right there in your editor.
Oh, 3 conflicts.
Conflicts.
Okay. Like a
I was like, if you want to, you could probably use a different one because that one.
Oh, I think I have changes. That's why, Alex.
Shasha, use my user settings one.
That one's clean.
and ready
That
to
one's
go.
like super old. That's been blocked for a while.
Oh, it's because
I
I have
have-
some local changes. So let me stash this real quick.
Sure. And yeah, one-click stash, nice and easy.
Okay. All right, let's go back. Let's try this again. We are in.
Cool. And yeah, now just in your editor, maybe make some changes to it. And we can kind of like stage those as a code suggestion for this PR, which is kind of a way, like when you're making
Okay.
comments
You're
on
not going to
GitHub.
see my VS Code because
Oh,
I'm
sure.
only sharing GitKraken.
Sure, that's fine. But yeah, basically, like when you're making a comment on GitHub, it's tied to like one specific line. And sometimes you might want to like make a comment about that same thing in a bunch of other places so it doesn't get missed, right? Like renaming a variable or changing a color, you know, some of those things where it's used in multiple places, but your comment would have to be like copied and pasted in all those lines, right? So that gets really annoying. With a code suggestion, you can actually just make the changes in your code and kind of propose it as like, it's not its own PR to the PR that someone has. It's instead just this like code suggestion that lives inside of like the GitKraken servers that they can just click apply and it brings it in. So you don't have to go through the whole like PR workflow.
That's very interesting. I'm saving a little change right now. It's still saving because of the ESLint.
That's fine.
Can I just skip it? And oh, yep, I can. Okay. All right, so let's go back. Okay, so I have some changes here.
Yep. So with those changes, there should be a spot where you can create a code suggestion. I am less familiar with it here in GitKraken desktop, though. I typically do it from GitLens.
I see. How do I do it from GitLens or Skillet?
Let me double check.
I got GitLens inspect.
Yeah,
Okay,
so let me double check and look on my end too. I'm just going to make a random change to my code here so I can look at it. Okay, so then in GitLens inspect, I think it's actually going to be over in the source control tab. So whatever change you might want to stage. Oh, wait, hold on. No. It is in GitLens inspect. It's at the very top towards the like the label for inspect commit details. There's a second little like tab kind of next to it. And that's where you could take your code and stage it as if you were going to commit it, but don't commit it. And then there should be a button in that little tab that says suggest changes for PR.
All right, let me share my VS Code.
Sure.
My computer's very slow.
I have the same problem.
Okay,
I have a
so
2014 Mac Mini.
I'm
waiting
in.
to update. Okay, cool. So yeah, you see the little tab that's like in the upper left corner there next to the one that's active. There you go. Click that.
Okay.
And that change that you have staged, you could share as a cloud patch. Yes, on my end, I have a button that says suggest changes for PR.
Okay.
But yeah, so you could create a cloud patch. They work basically the same way. It's just more about like the step in the process that they happen at. So a cloud patch is something you may do before the PR is even made, whereas the code suggestion is tied to a PR.
Okay.
So yeah, you'll create that cloud patch. Yep.
Oh, I gotta sign in. Oh no. Configured. Oh. Okay, it's taking me to. Okay, I'm gonna single sign on. Open. I'm good. Continue. So many prompts. Okay, I'm good. All right, so successful.
Okay, cool. So it looks like you created that patch. So you can
Mhm.
view it by clicking that blue button. That'll pop open to your browser, and you can kind of see it. Or actually, it happens right there in GitLens. Sorry.
Okay.
If it was in some other places, it may pop open to your browser.
Got it.
The person who made that PR or who is the owner of that branch should be able to see that cloud patch somewhere.
That's Alex. Alex, do you see it somewhere? Like, does it show up in GitKraken or?
It should show up in both. But again, I use the desktop client a lot less. I'm a GitLens user for the most part myself.
Okay.
So let me double check. It may be over in your Launchpad.
Okay.
I'm double checking mine right now too.
You seeing anything, Alex?
So yeah, on your Launchpad, there should
No.
be a suggested changes tab at the bottom of it. Like drop down / accordion.
Oh, okay.
So this would be for Alex, I believe, if it was.
Yeah, because
his branch.
it's his PR, his branch.
Okay.
You see anything yet, Alex?
No, but I wonder if it has to do with like the workspace doesn't even show up for me yet.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay,
So
so
you may
Chris
need to
has it
accept
though,
that.
right, Chris?
No, it's not showing up for me either.
The workspace is not interesting.
No, and then I clicked on the link in the email and it said workplace not found.
Workspace
I
not
didn't hire you
found.
yet.
Interesting. Okay. This is the demo gods. Always
Yep.
shining.
When you go live, something has
Yep.
to go wrong.
Let's see.
Okay, so I created the workspace. So by creating a workspace and putting in all 10 members, they should all receive a notification to join, right?
Yeah.
So
And
I was able to just refresh, and then
Uh-huh.
I saw the workspace, so now I'm in it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
so yeah, refresh might be
then-
needed.
then you're the
and
lucky
because it's an
one.
Electron app, you can just Apple R, I believe.
All right, Cody, you're the lucky winner. I'm gonna go make some code suggestions. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's wait, where is it? Discard. Okay, and then we'll go back. I'm gonna check out that branch.
Yeah, I thought there was a quick and easy way to do a refresh, but I'm missing that on the repo management tab. So
yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so let me go make a change for Cody real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go to get inspect.
Here we go. Yeah, suggesting changes for the PR.
PR. Oh, probably because he's in the workspace now. That maybe I have that option.
That's possible.
Okay, and then create code suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now it's there, Cody.
So,
View
yeah.
code suggestion.
Yep, I'm seeing it here.
Awesome.
Cool.
So then,
Can
yeah, if you were
share
to
your
click
screen
that,
so we could see it. Oh, Cody.
yeah, great idea.
Yeah, sure.
So one thing that might even be worth showing is that on GitHub, in like the PR, there was also a comment added that would link you out to a way to view the code suggestion as well.
Oh, very cool. Oh, look at that. Okay.
Yeah, and then that would link you out to, I believe, the GitKraken.dev kind of web experience, which is very useful.
Fetching is recommended. Okay, fetch.
So I clicked on the open code suggestion. Oh,
Sure.
okay, I see here. Fetching is recommended to find the ref. Would you like to fetch?
Yeah, go ahead, fetch.
Probably
It's
fetch
just
it, yep.
Yeah. Oh no.
Huh.
Unable to find the commit patch. Ensure that you have copies.
Yeah, maybe click fetch one more time, or do a pull possibly. Yeah, this is how you know we're live. Exactly.
Let's see.
When remote branch. Yeah, origin. Go ahead, submit. Oh boy.
So instead of doing the pull, there's a little caret next to pull. Go ahead and click that, and just do a fetch all maybe.
Oh, fetch all.
And that should have done like at least the update thing. So then, yeah, do we see the code suggestion anywhere? Let's maybe go back to the Launchpad real quick.
Okay.
So yeah, open the code suggestion. Let's see if that does it there. Let's try the fetch again.
I wonder if
Of
it's
course.
because you have 2 changes right now that are uncommitted.
That's possible.
Can you stash that? No, but no, you don't, because that's what's being changed. You don't have any. Interesting.
So it does look like the suggested change. Is that what actually came down? Like, is that what we're looking at on this?
No, it's not. It's just one file. It's the legal page file.
Okay.
So this is not the page.
So yeah, I'm double checking some things on my end.
Okay.
So yeah, when I clicked the like open code suggestion, it actually popped open a thing on the sidebar of my Launchpad. So yeah, there may be just something that is preventing this from getting fetched, and I'm not sure why that would be.
I see it too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, let me how do I do this again? How do I get out of here? Okay, so I can show it on my end, Cody.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
And yeah, like some of this like conflicts with local changes can be made a little easier using a thing called work trees. I am less familiar with work trees, so I'm not necessarily prepared to walk through that situation right now. But Git work trees are actually a Git like functionality that they've shipped somewhat recently, maybe within the past year or so, that allows you to maybe like open up the branch without messing with your local file system. So it's almost like a sandboxed work tree, so you don't have to actually even stash anymore. So that's like the main gist there.
So here's the changes I recommend. It's just documentation updates, and then you can reject it, or you can start work in progress and apply suggestions to this repo.
Yeah, so that would stash kind of what you have changed locally.
Okay.
And then it would apply the change, and then you can turn it into a commit. But rejected.
Rejected myself. So if I reject it, the code suggestions are gone or still there?
I believe the comment should still be available on the GitHub page.
Oh, okay.
So that might be worth looking at. Yeah, just go ahead and open it in GitHub and just check on that that comment and see if it's.
It is still there. Yep.
Okay. Yep. So the change could be maybe brought in if you rejected it, but we've at least like recorded that code suggestion was not something you wanted to.
That's very cool. Very nice.
Yeah. So those are like the big parts. I wish I was more trained up on work trees to like show you that process. But yes,
I mean, what you're showing us already is like very revolutionary because from a workspace standpoint, this is going to allow all of us to be more efficient, especially like if you go to your personal view, right? And you're like, other people are waiting for reviews or whatnot. And then if you want to go to the team view, you can kind of help watch over like these conflicts, right? Say like, hey, Chris, you have 4 PRs that have merge conflicts. Go take care of them. And then the links right here too. You can click on it or go straight to GitHub and link it.
Yep.
We can all look at the Launchpad and workspace and kind of see what's going on as well. So that all together is going to create more efficiencies than viewing right now 14 open PRs on one list, right? And figuring out, okay, what's I have to click on each and every one of them to kind of figure out what the statuses are, if they're are they merge conflicts, or if they've been if any new commits and whatnot. So
Exactly.
it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, like the context switching is what we're really trying to reduce with Launchpad.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, cool. Yeah, I think those were the main things I wanted to point out. At some point, as you guys kind of like have some more things that could be better, we can kind of like talk and figure out like the next course of action for like some of the other features that are worth showing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thanks for walking us through that, Chris. I mean, I personally have used GitKraken and I love it. And I did not. I didn't set up workspaces or Launchpad because I was like, it's new. I don't know how to use it.
Yep, exactly.
But now I'm like, I'm gonna use it. And
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna use now to kind of review PRs and kind of see what's going on with everything, because this is it's a condensed version of what I usually do on a day-to-day anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But it's organized. It keeps the team on pace, and kind of allows me to know like if there are things that I need to direct, like, oh, hey, Cody, I need you to go help review these PRs, or like Chris is off for the week and he has 2 merge conflicts. Can you help him go resolve those items so we can continue to move forward?
Yep, exactly. And yeah, like especially more useful when you're working on multiple teams or multiple projects, and you can still get it all in that same consistent view. And it's still the same view when you're going from GitHub to GitLab to Bitbucket, right? You're not having to worry about their like design inconsistencies among each other. So, it gives you like a nice home base for all of your work.
Awesome. Any questions from anybody?
Yeah, I do have a question for you, Chris. What do you feel like is the most what do you feel like is the most powerful tool about GitKraken, or whether it's a command or a part of the feature or the service that everyone should like be utilizing, but you feel like it doesn't get enough love? I would love to know that.
Well, I mean, as Shashi kind of pointed out, the discovery of some of the new features we have are like, it's a little harder. Launchpad, I think, is my favorite part, right? And I think it's a lot of people's favorite part once they discover it, but finding it is the hard part, So
I almost thought your favorite one was going to be Git Lens, but Git Launchpad, huh?
Well, Git Lens is like a tool that I use every day, but as far as like what GitKraken really offers, I think Launchpad, which is available in Git Lens as well, is like the cross-cutting thing. Like, just it works wherever you want. If you're a CLI user, we also have a CLI with Launchpad visible as well, which is kind of cool. And also one more thing to point out for GitKraken.dev, that's also mobile responsive. So you can get your Launchpad on mobile devices.
Oh, that's so cool. But don't work on your phone though. But you have to, then
it's more like if you're stuck in a meeting, you can still like check some things without like popping open the laptop. But yeah, this was great. Thank you so much for letting me show that to you. And if you do run into questions or any comments, concerns, there's always our Discord that you can ask in the public channels. Shashi's an ambassador as well. He can also get like a quicker line to us if you guys need help, fast. So always happy to jump on.
Yeah, I think that as we use this in the Launchpad, it's going to allow us to provide more feedback as well on things that we like, things that can improve. That's kind of all we're doing a lot with our sponsors too, is using the tools and stuff and then providing instant feedback, because we are a team that's utilizing it and kind of playing around with it and kind of trying to not break it, but if it does break, right, we can report right away. Feedback. And the bugs are there, and it's great feedback, instant feedback, and from us too, where we're an ambassador and directly connected. So I think that's the best thing about working together, is we get to use the products, but also we get to provide feedback so that y'all can improve and get better and all of that.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anything about Git? You liking it?
No, I'm like, I love it. Ever since I tried it out, I was like, oh my gosh, like, why did I ever use manual commands. Like it was so hard.
Right.
And this is just like so visually appealing. Like I'm not wasting my time trying to like, oh hey, what was that command again? Or like if I screw something up, like GitKraken makes it so much easier to like fix it and move on.
Right. Yeah. One of the fun things about GitLens is like it's using your actual Git client under the hood. So you can actually inspect GitLens's output and see the commands that it's running on your behalf, which is kind of cool. And some of those commands are really complicated. Like it's crazy.
I'm not gonna remember those. No way. I think that's the best thing, and why I'm an advocate of using Git on the GUI is because of that reason. Like, how are you gonna remember all this stuff? How are you gonna remember to revert your your PR? How do you like rebase? How do you like reset the head and all these like these commands? I don't want to learn. I don't want to memorize. It's too much.
Yeah,
right?
like even the Primogen, as great of a dev as he is, just learned about git commit -- amend just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so there's just so much stuff that is in Git that is like hard to learn
There
or
is
it's like not
way
discoverable.
too many, and that is exactly why for like these individuals on the Gridiron Survivor team, most of these are junior developers, or all of them are, and I always tell them is it's fine if you want to learn the command line Git, but I'm telling you right now, you have so many more things to learn. Don't drown yourself in learning Git commands. You can use a GUI. Like, how do you know that I committed all these files with a GUI and without it, right? You don't. The end result is it's there. It doesn't matter, right? So same thing with you're trying to learn a CLI. It's like you don't need to impress anybody. You don't need to memorize anything. Like you have a million other things to learn. Let this be a way to be more efficient and for you to find and not have to memorize like commands and stuff like that, because it's ongoing and it's ever changing. And like you just said, like Primogen just learned about amend, and like I know about amend because it's in here. It's in the menus. You can right click and when you commit, there's a little check mark that says amend. That's it.
Yeah.
So those kind of things. It's like, oh great, and like nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna care. Like, but then
It's about getting things done.
Oh
right?
yeah, when you're super efficient, you can get things done quickly. And like when there's a bug, and you're like, oh, who pushed this bug out? Like we need to figure that out. You're not gonna manually go and figure that out. No, like if you use GitLens or a GUI, you can find out where the history of the file is. You can find out all this stuff. And with GitLens, you can click on a line and say like, oh, it was that person.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you figure out what that PR is. Yeah.
I know several people that use the CLI for the basics like git push, git pull, git commit, but they still go back out to the desktop GUI for that commit graph to actually like do things like, figuring out where a bug was introduced, right? So they can do the bisect, like, they can figure out which commit to bisect from, things like that. So it's really cool stuff.
Cool. Chris, are there any new features that besides Launchpad that just released that we could be aware of?
I'm less up on that because I'm like head down, like doing some other content stuff, but some of the stuff that we have in the pipeline is around like more about like what can we do to make the free tier better and to make like make the app more sticky for users, right? So we're focusing a lot on that. There are definitely like features we're working on, bugs we're fixing, all that stuff. But I think a big thing is we're like focusing on making sure that our content is discoverable, right? So I've been working on a lot of like onboarding type videos for GitLens lately. Awesome. Those are kind of fun. So.
And then another thing I want to bring up too is, can you tell us more about GitCon?
GitCon is coming up. So GitCon is a 2-day event, pre-recorded content in which we're going to be kind of discussing like dev as like a team sport, right? So like software development is a team sport, and like how do we work better as teams? Like, using a tool like Launchpad, et cetera. So we're going to have a bunch of guest speakers talking about how they work as teams, not necessarily like focused on GitKraken itself or like, our tools, but more just like teamwork in general, just like good content. And I'm going to be doing some like skit style content for like infotainment type stuff for it. That'll be kind of fun. That I think will be cool. So I'm traveling to the office in Arizona in like a month to do some of that recording and stuff. And it'll be good.
Nice. And when is GitCon?
GitCon is going to be early December.
And it's in person or remote?
It is remote, so it'll be
Nice.
online. You can register for it and kind of just get notified when it's going to be live, and it'll be on our YouTube as well afterwards if you can't make it. And it should be a lot of fun. Last year we had Sean Astin as the MC. This year, me and Allison, a coworker, are the MCs.
Oh,
Not quite
Hey.
as high profile as Sean Astin.
That's awesome. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
still fun.
Yeah. Still cool though.
Awesome. Any last words from anybody? Any
Oh, this is
questions?
great. Thanks for coming on and showing us some stuff, Chris.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't practice nearly enough for it, obviously, but I think it worked out in
That's
the end
okay.
anyway.
It's
No,
all good.
I mean, again, just the features that GitKraken is outputting and listening and like having a pipeline. I think that this application is setting itself apart from the competition big time.
Awesome.
I enjoy it a lot, and like just the workflows and everything that's improving. And we're gonna, be firsthand using it and experiencing it as well. I think it's gonna go a long way towards better team efficiencies.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear.
Awesome, Chris. Thank you for coming on and providing some helpful guidance on setting this up and showing us the ropes here. And I'm sure there'll be more things, and we'll definitely bring you back on to kind of showcase other products and tools and tips and stuff like that, because that's always nice to have.
Yep. Yeah. I think work trees are going to be a major thing to like showcase next time. So I'm looking
Sweet.
forward to when that happens.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. We will see you next week when we stream again on Thursday.
Nice.
Bye.
Yes, bye.